Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hinton's Hobbies. I am obviously Hinton, or maybe not so obviously. Let me get this open here really quick. Just doing a technical thing on the back end. One moment, please. So, yes, I am going to be working on the Thyra bust from Toy Toy Miniatures. Excuse me. Not sure what's going on. I had a tickle in my throat. Grab a drink of my tea here really quick. So yes, going to be working on her today. And yes, it is Dad's Day, or Father's Day, depending on how you want to phrase it. Without getting into any of the gory details or anything, my father and I, it was not a good relationship. We'll say that. But I do have a dad. My dad is actually my stepdad. He is a good man, and I love him very much. And so I sent him some well wishes this morning. And I am also a dad myself. I have a couple of daughters. One is a biological daughter, and then one is a sort of adopted daughter. Not officially adopted, but she calls me Dad. It's my daughter's best friend. And so, yeah, they're good kids. Although they're not really kids anymore. They're in their 20s. They're in relationships. They have kids themselves. So they're moms. So yeah, relationships with parents can be complicated sometimes. My father, my biological father, passed away about 7 years ago. And the last 20 years of his life, we never spoke. He never got to meet his granddaughter, although I'm not exactly broken up about that. Not meaning this to be like a horribly depressing stream or anything. It's just, this is one of those days where I kind of reflect on things, life in general, the way things have turned out. And they could have been better, and they could have been worse. So yeah, how is everyone today? Hopefully you're doing well. I am streaming a little bit earlier than usual. I have family coming over later. My daughter, my biological daughter, is coming over in a little bit, so I wanted to start streaming a bit early so that I can get ready for the company. Like I said, I'm not sure when they're coming over. Might be later this morning, might not be until this afternoon. I'm not sure. But it's always nice to spend time with them. And tomorrow is the last day of my vacation. Been on vacation for 10 wonderful days. It's been fantastic. Very productive hobby-wise. Got a lot of projects done. Some of it I got done, and I actually did some work for some other people. And I didn't take photos of it. I should have posted some photos, gotten some photos and posted them of some of the other work that I did, but I never got around to it. I don't know, I was kind of in a zone. I didn't take a whole lot of photos while I was working on projects. I just did them and got done and moved on. So Been doing a ton of 3D printing. Got a bunch of stuff printed out. Some of it is models and miniatures for the Spelljammer campaign that I'm running. So I can't show them on stream because... Let me get back in focus here. Jeez, seeing camera focus. I can't show them on stream because I don't want my players to see them and know what's coming up, because then they'll start looking up stat blocks and figuring out how to tackle these things, and they're not supposed to know these things yet, because these are going to be creatures that they have not run into before. So, but I will try to remember to get photos of them, of those models, and then post them on my Facebook page, which is called Hinton's Hobbies. So you can pop over there and give that page a like and follow it. See updates there. Oh, I got a couple of things in my way here. Move some brushes. I had some brushes from when I was working on other projects, so I gotta move them out of the way here really quick. Put them over there. There we go. Okay. I'm thinking about doing green eyes on her, just because I happen to like green eyes. Redheads with green eyes. It's very, very cool. So let's see here. Let's get a nice dark green. Let's see. Do I want... pine green or shadow green? Maybe leaf green. Excuse me. So yeah, I have options here. Pine green's a nice dark green. I think maybe shadow green's a little too bright. I think we'll take that one out. Leaf green. Let's do leaf green. If I don't like it, I can always paint over it. All right. I didn't really, excuse me, jeez. I had a cold a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Seems to still be hanging on a bit here. So, excuse me for clearing my throat, jeez. But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of topics to talk about today. At least nothing in particular struck my fancy. Okay, I'm gonna put my, there it is, my visor on. Because I'm doing very fine detail work here. Okay, can you see? Oh, I'm bumping the camera. Sorry about that. There we go. Need to be able to see. Right. I want to get close enough that I can see, but I don't want to be bumping the camera, and I don't want to lose focus. It's a very delicate balance here. All right, let's try this. And apologies for going really, really quiet while I do this. It requires a very steady hand. think her eye is out just a little too far. Let me bring that in a touch. Okay. That seems to be okay. I am sorry I keep bumping the camera here. I'm so used to doing this without something right in my way here. Okay. Let's see if I can do the same thing on this side. Yeah, good luck with that. Sorry. Trying to avoid it. Okay, I think that turned out. I don't know if you can see it very well. Yeah. I think that turned out pretty good. I don't know why I insist on messing with things once I think they're good. Okay. I think I'm going to call that good right there. Stop messing with it. Okay. Now I'll take my visor off because I don't need it. Oops, hold on. So is anyone doing anything special for this Dad's Day, or even just the weekend in general? You don't have to be a dad to do anything special on this day. You can just do it because you can. Let's see, for the red here, I need a little bit of a highlight. Oop, I am really close to the mic. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's try some rust brown from Reaper. It's a highlight. Well, first stage highlight anyway. Oop, it's clogged. Hold on. Need my pokey tool. That was just me putting something away. As I said, I worked on a lot of projects over the past week when I've been on vacation. I built some dice jails. I built a bird feeder dice tower for the board game Wingspan. I actually made that one for a couple of people, or for a couple that owns the game. They had bought it used, and it didn't come with the dice roller. It comes with a dice tower you roll these dice through. And so I offered to build that for them. That was a fun project. It's a bit thick, I think, but I'll try it. It may be too bright. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do a kind of dry brushing. And then I'm going to go back over it with a wash. chestnut brown to try and tone it down. Well, maybe that's going to be okay once it dries. I'll let it dry and see how it goes. Yeah, I'm one of those people that uses my thumb and all that for to brush to pull paint off the brush. So after a marathon painting session, my hand is very, very colorful. I've actually had paint all the way up to here. I think I have a couple of photos of that because I was showing another painter friend of mine. He'd shown me what his hand looked like after a marathon, and it's worse than mine. Yeah, we were talking about how we do that, how we use the back of our hand, so like a paper towel or anything. Just one of those things that some of us do. Actually, looking at it now that it's drying, I might actually kind of like that. Still need to get into the crevices of the hair to help it pop a little bit. Sorry, getting a camera. I'm used to my camera sitting way over here. I've actually moved it closer to me so I don't have to stretch across my workbench, across my painting area to paint. But I do want to put some deeper shadows into that to really make it pop out. Somebody once told me that miniature painting is trying to make a three-dimensional object look three-dimensional. Because it's so small, it's hard to pick out details and dimensions. So you have to paint things almost to an exaggerated level so that they'll be easier to pick out. I'm fairly certain these are like bone braid at the end of the hair. It's like a bone, like a bone hair clip kind of thing. So I'm going to actually paint that. Okay. So I think it's turning out pretty good there. So, okay. Let's getting comfortable here. And yeah, I have my autofocus turned off, so if I set her down on the mat, she's out of focus. But if I pull her up, she's okay. Okay, let's work on some shadows here for the skin. I'm actually using tan shadow. And one thing I mentioned when I started painting this is I think this is the first time I'm using the skin tones straight. I'm not, I'll mix them with like reds or purples or things like that to give them different tones. But this is the first time I decided I just wanted to try it and see. And it's actually turning out really, really nice. So yeah, I don't mix it with anything other than water to thin it down. So yeah, we'll get in here with the shadows underneath the arms. You kind of try to layer this. As I mentioned before, I don't do wet blending. I don't understand it. I don't get how it works. I understand the theory of it. You take two colors that are wet and then you blend them together, but what I wind up with is mud. It doesn't blend correctly, and I don't know. I've watched all kinds of videos on it. I've read articles. I actually have a DVD, an actual DVD of using that technique, and I don't get it. I don't know. There's just some things you have to accept. There's some things that you can't do because you just don't understand it. Some things come naturally to people, other things do not. So that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You can get good results with layering and feathering and things like that. I'm just kind of going around the edges here to kind of give the impression of shadow along the edges. Not so much like an outline, but like the leather is kind of pinching into the skin a little bit. At least that's what I'm trying to accomplish. Whether I'm actually doing it or not remains to be seen. We'll find out eventually. That was a weird way to say that word. Eventually. And shadow underneath the jawline. And just underneath the lip and the nose, the eye. I don't know if I'm going to give her any eye makeup, like eyeshadow or anything. I'm not very good at that either. You'd think somebody who'd been painting miniatures for 20 years would actually be kind of good at some of this stuff, but I don't know. I think part of my problem, if you want to call it that, is when I started painting miniatures, I wasn't looking at being like a competitive painter or anything like that. I just wanted to paint miniatures. Wasn't doing it for like armies or anything like that, like Warhammer or anything. I stumbled across the hobby, almost literally, and thought it was kind of cool and wanted to try it. And so, that's not to say I haven't entered competitions. I have, but it was never with an eye on winning. It was just to challenge me, because there'd be like themed competitions where, okay, your theme is, the sewers or something like that. So you have to come up with like a diorama with miniatures in the sewer kind of thing. So yeah, that was more just to inspire an idea than to actually try to win a competition or anything. And so yeah, I've never really thought about doing that. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I revel in my mediocrity because I'm not looking to be challenged, I guess. Maybe that's a way to phrase it. I'm not competing with anyone except myself, is probably a good way to put it. And so I don't try a whole lot of different techniques and things like that. I stick with what I know, with what works for me. And so I tend to just stay in my comfort zone. try something here. Oops, I am bumping the camera again. I apologize. I'm going to blend some tan skin and some tanned highlight. Zoop. I'm going to mix those together on a 50-50 ratio. Not so much blending as it is layering. So, one drop tan skin. That's why I like the dropper bottles, is because I can do 1 drop or 2 drops or whatever. If they actually come out the dropper bottle. Sometimes it does not. Sometimes it's being stubborn. For a moment there, I thought maybe my mic was off. I had to check it really quick. I have done that before, where I have been sitting here talking, and since there's nobody in here, as far as I can tell, I don't have my viewers on, so I don't know if anybody's here or not. So, nobody here to tell me, hey, it's really, really quiet. What are you doing? One more drop of water. I want to kind of thin it out. I want to make it kind of thin so I can layer it. Let's see about transitioning from skin tone to highlight, or regular skin tone to highlight. Like here on the shoulders. It feels like too much paint. Let's see what we get here. Let's like where the muscles are here, the back. And get those to pop out a little bit. And triceps. Yeah, now that rust brown has dried on the hair, I kind of like that look, that tone. Oh, so I watched Army of the Dead this morning. Yes, I got up fairly early this morning for various reasons. I did watch Army of the Dead this morning. Interesting movie. Not your typical zombie fare, but that's okay. I thought it was okay. Not great. I did have a couple of surprises in there. But I don't know if I'd call it a new zombie classic. But good acting. Interesting plot. The whole Las Vegas is now a zombie zone that's been quarantined, and so they're going to break in and steal a whole bunch of money. And of course, with the big crew like that, you know people are going to die. No spoilers, but yeah, you know people are going to bite it. I mean, that's the whole point of having so many people, having your ensemble cast, so that you can have people die. Okay, yeah, I think that mid-tone's kind of nice. Although I can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see like lines, not like brushed oak lines, but like between here and here, You can definitely see skin tone, light skin tone. And this is where I struggle, because I can't get it to come out right. It's kind of like Ira Glass talked about the gap. What you see in your head and what you actually produce are two different things, because there's a gap. You don't have the skills yet. I don't know. That's not working for me. That's not going right at all. Some things work, some things don't. Well, I'm also probably not going to be streaming for very long. I'm probably like another half hour, 45 minutes or so. As I said, I have to do some stuff, get ready for family coming over. Okay. Now we got an interesting thing here. You got a necklace, which I'm guessing is like a leather strap. And you got one of these bone clips that goes under the necklace, and then the three others go over the top. That'll be fun. Alright, so let's do a leather brown. What have I got here? I'm going to adjust my camera just a touch. There we go. I'm going to try this rattlesnake leather. It's kind of a greenish brown. I'm going to try that for the necklace, I think. I've also been doing a lot of 3D printing this week. Got a bunch of stuff printed out. Some of it is, I think I mentioned this already, some of the stuff from my Spelljammer campaign. So I got those prints done. I'm trying to think if we printed out anything else. I haven't really printed anything else out. But this is, if you haven't caught the streams before, checked out the videos on YouTube, this is a 3D print. As I said, it's from Toy Miniatures. You can find them on My Mini Factory. This was actually a Kickstarter that I backed. And it's, you've got the bust, and then you've got the full 75 millimeter figure. Doing the full pose. And so I decided to start with the bust because it seems a bit easier to print and a bit easier to paint, I think. Could be wrong though. And I often am. I also keep checking my internet connection to make sure it doesn't go down, because it's done that the last two streams and I wasn't aware of it. Didn't find out until I finished up and I went in and noticed that I had two videos from the same day. It's like, what? And sure enough, one of them's like 10 minutes long, and then the other one's like 30 minutes long, or vice versa. And that's incredibly annoying. So hopefully that's not happening today. I have terrible internet here. Well, not terrible, but it's not great. Okay. And then I'm going to, here's a ruddy leather. I think I'm going to use this for the clips and the, I don't know, I might do something different with that. I might do like a light yellow, or like an off-white kind of. That'll make it really pop out. And draw the eye. I don't know. That's too close to the hair color. Yeah, that's too close to the hair color. I don't like that. Excuse me. I need. Let's put that back. Where is my? Yeah, let's try the leather brown. It's just a light brown, light beige color. Let's try that and see what we get. Oops. There's a drawback to the dropper bottles that they get clogged sometimes, so gotta clean it out really quick here. There we go. Alright, let's try that. I don't want too close to the skin color either. Oops. Might overthin it just a touch. I do that sometimes too. Give me a point. There we go. Yeah, I like that. There we go. I probably need to put just a touch of the shadow color, tan shadow, down in here, because it looks like it didn't get it all the way in there. So let's put that in there. And I am brushing up against the other stuff in the area. Darn it. That's okay. I can come back and fix it. Okay. Oops, I am just making a mess. Oh yeah. Okay. So I said I wanted to try a light yellow, off-white. let's try this. See how it turns out. So this is Dirty Bone. So let's get some of that out. Oops. Drop just a touch of linen white into it. It's kind of a off-white, grayish, off-gray color. Let's see how it looks once it goes on here. Yeah, let's. Again, sorry for being quiet while I concentrate. I'm still messing up. I'm still hitting hair. Yes. My phone's vibrating over there. One second, please. Let me see what's going on. Oh. Sorry, I'm replying here. Somebody sending me Father's Day wishes. I don't know about that. I'm talking about the color, not the Father's Day wishes. Not sure. Not sure I can't paint a straight line either. Jeez. This is where it gets fun because it actually disappears into the hair. Right. It's almost like this is the braid itself. That is so weird. That's hair. That's rope. Okay. Let's do this. That in focus? I hope so. And thinking about movies while I was on vacation, I went on a 1970s disaster movie kick. Stuff like Earthquake, Towering Inferno, Poseidon Adventure, Airport 75, Airport 77. Those are movies I remember watching when I was younger. Yes, I am fairly old. Back in the 70s, Earthquake and Towering Inferno came out about the same time, so they would show them as a double feature known as Shake and Bake. Ha ha, ha ha ha. I might run with that. Maybe that's okay. You can see just a touch of the rope right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's down in there. Right there. Just a touch. So it's like it goes under the hair there. There we go. There we go. Yeah. We'll do that. That'll work. Okay. What's this notification here? Oh. That's not important. All right, I'm grabbing a drink here, so hydrate everyone if you have something to drink. Oh, and speaking of drinks, a couple friends of mine gave me an amazing gift. It is a bottle of Macallan single malt scotch. Wow, that really came out mangled. 12-year-old. Not 30. I mean, good Lord. 30-year-old is horribly, horribly expensive. But yeah, they gave me 12-year-old scotch. I thought that was really, really cool. Very generous of them. That's one of my favorites. I think I'm going to use that same color, that dirty bone color, for the bones in her hair. But yeah, that was incredibly generous of them. And yes, I have opened it and have had some, and oh, it is so, so good. If you not, I mean, some people are not scotch drinkers, I get that. But if you have a chance to have some Macallan, do it. Yeah, it's worth it. It's not cheap, I can tell you that. Someday I would like to be able to have some 30-year-old Macallan, because that is the best, from what I've heard. I've never actually had it because it's so expensive. But who knows, maybe someday I'll get that chance. Or then again, maybe like Wayne said, yeah, monkeys might fly out of my butt. It's kind of like somebody asked me recently if I had thought about opening up a restaurant. Which, yes, of course I have. I've been thinking about it since I was like 16 years old. So I went to culinary arts school and got my degree. I do not work in food service anymore. I did for many years. I work in IT now. But cooking is where my real passion is. I love to cook and I love to bake. But yeah, somebody asked me if I thought about it. It's like, I like the idea, but I doubt it's ever going to happen. First of all, you need a lot of money to open up a restaurant. You need a lot of money to open up like a food truck. Jeez. Alright, what happened there? Is that hair or is that another? No, that's just what I'm looking at is this right here. I can't tell if that's just. Looks like I painted it as a strand of hair, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure what that is. It looks like it's part of the hair that's coming down. It's not a leftover support. I'm not sure what the heck that thing is. Anyway. Give it a touch up here where I seem to have missed a spot. And I'm just going to call that a strand of hair that hangs down. Might need to look at like the files that I got in the download to see what that might be. Might have some descriptor in there or give me a better idea. I don't think there's any other painted versions out there, at least not that I've seen. Let's see here. I'm going to go back with another highlight on the skin. Just to try to pick some of this stuff out. Again, apologies for just being so quiet. Like I said, I didn't really have anything special to talk about today, other than wishing all the dads out there happy Dad's Day. Hopefully you having a good day. But other than that, I wasn't really sure what to talk about. There really hasn't been anything major happening in my life. I've talked about my daughter's getting married next year, so we're underway with planning for that. My biological daughter, not my adopted daughter. My adopted daughter is already married. So yeah, we're planning on that. One cool thing, I was talking to my daughter and her boyfriend, her fiance. When they get married, they're taking each other's last name. So it'll be last name hyphen last name for both of them. They'll both do that. And I've known people who have done that, husbands and wives. And I think that's really, really cool. And I fully support that. I like that idea. That's an interesting idea. Not that I'm ever going to get married again. I did it once, got divorced, and it's fine. Just going back over and giving some touch-ups here on some things. And I think I'm going to call it here in about another 5 minutes or so. That'll put me at just a little over an hour on stream. Because I need to go get ready. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I don't know if you can, yeah, that's not going to focus very well, is it? Yeah, about there, that's about the best it's going to get. So, yeah. And in case you're wondering about like the different areas, those are areas that I cleaned up after I primed it and then put some new primer on. It's just a different shade of primer. So this was all a prime with an airbrush, and then this is just brush on primer. So that's why it's has a different color to it, different tone or value. Alright, I'm going to grab a little bit of the skin shadow. Make another pass here on the undersides of things. Okay, underneath the jawline here. Yeah, somebody once told me that a good way to tell if you're getting your shadows and highlights done well enough is to hold it upside down. And if it still looks the same way as when you're holding it right side up, you're doing it right. I don't know how right they are about that, but makes a kind of sense, I suppose. Oh, I think I put that on too thick there. Clean that up a little bit there. I think I pulled it out too far. Got a little too much shadow onto the face. Yeah, a couple more minutes here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. It's quiet in the chat anyway. And go get ready so I can have the family over, or be ready for them when they show up. Okay. Well, I think I made some decent progress on her today. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for stopping by, checking this out. And as I said, if you're watching this video on demand or YouTube, thank you very much. If you're not following me on Facebook, it's Hinton's Hobbies. As a matter of fact, let me put up my social shout out here. Oops. Helps if I'm actually on that screen. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I was going to put a shout out, but apparently I'm not logged in, and I don't remember my login information off the top of my head. I thought I was signed in with my Twitch, but I guess not. So anyway, well, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, if you want to follow me on Facebook, it's Hinton's Hobbies. On YouTube, also Hinton's Hobbies, or follow me here on Twitch. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And you all have a good day.